I get to lose my GT2 RS virginity. And maybe a little more than that. What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this lovely evening on the Autobahn in southern Germany. And we are at LCE Performance, who have tuned this Porsche 911 991.2 GT2 RS. Max and I always discuss what's the coolest stock car you've ever driven. For me, it was always the 600 LT McLaren, which Max never drove, and for Max it was this, the GT2 RS, which I've never driven. Until now, the day is finally here. I get to lose my GT2 RS virginity. And not with just any GT2 RS, because this one has been tuned by LCE Performance and ES Motors. Let me show you the spec real quick. As stock, this is a silver GT2 RS, but it now has got a matte black foil on it, a wrap. It's a bit outdated if you ask me, the matte black wrap. I like the body color, but for stone protection purposes this is really good, because this is a super high speed car. Stock, this thing will do 340 kph, unbelievable. And this has not 700 horsepower, but 800, and maybe a little more than that, with a remapped GT2 RS engine. Now, look at that. Super nice carbon fiber parts right there. The engine sits right here on the rear axle. Porsche have fitted a very clever rear differential, because that 800 horsepower is going to the rear wheels only. So it's a bit of a love child of a GT3 RS and a Porsche Turbo S. Heavily tuned, of course, because 700 horsepower as standard, but this 800. So it's a baby on meth. So the 3.8 liter flat 6 bi-turbo engine that sits right there has been tuned by ES Motor and LCE Performance. Now, ES Motor, I've seen a lot of super quick, especially 991s lately, Carrera T's, Carrera S's, Turbo S's, stuff like that. ECU remaps like this car, but also turbo kits and stuff like that by ES Motor, and I'm blown away every time I see the data, I see the videos. They do some awesome stuff. Let me tell you, these guys are the next 9FF. Okay, I'm not going to bother you anymore with boring stuff. Let's switch to the cool stuff. Let me show you some cool stuff. With a GT2 RS you get cool carbon parts like this bonnet right here, and a carbon fiber distilled water tank. Now, why is there a water tank in here? Let me tell you. The intercoolers of the GT2 RS are spray water cooled. So this thing will do 340 as stock, but it runs hot. It's a turbo engine. It has an intercooler. It has to cool that charged air, and if it gets too hot, water sprays in front of the intercooler, and that way the intercooler sucks in the cooled air and gives max performance. Which is why this thing will do high-speed runs for as long as you want. Now, I have driven it already, and it's as cool as Max told me and promised me. Connect to Draggy. Okay, for the Autobahn, we are using PDK Sport for the fastest shifts. We're going to engage loud mode. That's loud. And we are going to use sport mode for the suspension. Because I expected this car as a GT3 RS to be super stiff, but I actually quite like it in sport suspension mode on the Autobahn. It's not like it's getting unsettled or anything. Cool Romanian guy right there. Had a nice chat with him. Good luck to you, sir. We'll screen record it. So first we have to heat up the car. It's been standing still for quite some time now. And heat up those rear Michelin Cup 2s. Now back when this was released, the GT2 RS, you had this and the McLaren 720S. Both are pinnacle sports cars, supercars, and I'm really curious which one you like best. Would you have this GT2 RS or a McLaren 720S? Let me know in the comments. Now the torque of this car is 950 Newton meters, and it's to protect the stock clutch. If you want to go over 1000 Newton meters with this PDK gearbox, you need a different clutch, but I think 950 Newton meters, it's enough. Now we have the engine sitting right back there on the rear axle, so we have lots of traction to do runs. And I thought the GT2 RS would be a pretty intimidating car, but Max reassured me it's not. It's like a GT3, but only super quick. And it definitely feels like that. Really like that. Okay. I already delivered on my promise of improving my 100 to 200 time. Here we have it. Oh, 479. That's mental for a stock car with a remap. Jesus Christ. Now the test driver of LC Performance told me that best times he got was 4.6, something like that, but he got it at like 10 degrees and at 30 degrees. The car just didn't care, and that's, I think, because of that spray cooled intercooler, which is really convenient for people living in hotter areas. It's an old trick that was used in rally car driving for a long time. A Lancer Evo has it, but it's just not connected. Fun story. Okay, let's do one more. This thing just hooks up. 485. Oh, I can't believe how fast it is. It is mental. I absolutely love this car. You may have seen my AutoTopNL video that was released a few weeks ago, and how flippin' fast I went with this car. It was over 330 GPS. But I just didn't look at the speedo. I hardly ever do. I'm just connecting to the car, feeling if it's unsettled or at its limit. But at 330, the GT2 RS was feeling absolutely fine. It could have gone a lot faster, not just engine wise, but also suspension wise, and I just really like it that way. So 200 to 250, I'm getting 4 seconds, which is absolutely insane. It's improving on its 100 to 200 time from 200 to 250. Normally it's about the same, but this is much lower than its 100 to 200 time. Let me show you. Which is really impressive. So that means it's like getting faster and faster and faster, which is insane. Okay, let me see if we can do a launch control. Because in Max's review on the Autobahn, I saw that it hooked up with launch control really, really well. I have never done launch control with this car, but we are about to find out what that's like. I'm pretty confident it will handle the power on just one axle, which is mental because normally 800 horsepower rear wheel drive in a sports car, forget it. Now last week I drove the new 992 GT3. You do feel how Porsche have improved on the front axle, because that's just a lot sharper in the front axle and less floaty. This does have that floaty 911 classic character on the front axle, and yeah, that's something they really improved on over the years. Lots of wheel spin, did not expect that. Haha! 0 to 100 was a bit disappointing, I have to say. Just too much wheel spin, too much power. But after that, it destroyed that piece of road. So that was it, guys. There's the speed limit. So I'm getting off here. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed this review. Go check out this video, subscribe to our channel, or go check out the POV reviews playlist for more cool videos on the Autobahn. Thanks, guys. Bye.